The mouse is here, and he wants more of your money and time than ever before. But is it worth it? Let's find out. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and the Emoji, where I analyze an upcoming film, TV show, or in this case streaming service, and even throw an emoji in at the end for good measure. Today we look at the newest streaming service on the block, Disney+. We have a very crowded market in the streaming industry, but with Marvel, Star Wars, and more, there has to be some good things to talk about, so let's move on to the good. Moving on to the good, everything good about this service. The first good is that it has all of my favorite things. It has Marvel, it has Star Wars, Fox, Pixar, and more. And while it certainly lacks the size, the sheer amount of content that Netflix has, its popularity of the content that it has is astounding. It has some of the most popular franchises in film and TV that has ever existed in the entire world, and it is always going to have that ahead of its competition. Which brings us to the next good, the price. $6.99 per month is not crazy cheap, and nor is the $69.99 per year that they have, but the content mentioned above at that price is unbeatable. And for context, Netflix's base plan is $8.99 a month, and it seems like Disney Plus is offering more screens, more ability to download your content, more things for its lower rate. Despite having a few less movies and shows to choose from, the price is still under Netflix, which is exactly what they need to do. Now, granted, I'm sure that will change over time. I'm sure that eventually this thing will start to keep growing in the amount of the rate that they're going to be charging. But as of right now, before it came out, its $6.99 price tag is pretty low, and they're offering a ton of deals right now to get it for even lower. The final good is where Disney brings in the big guns, and that is original content. Disney is taking its mega properties in Star Wars, Marvel, and more, and just bringing you large-scale television series that are basically mini movies. The Mandalorian, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and more. Many people will honestly sign up for this service just to keep up with their MCU fix or get their Star Wars kicks. And honestly, I don't think I can blame them. Well, with every good, there must also be a bad, at least on this show. So let us move on to the bad things about Disney+. The first bad, the first one that we're going to cover, is the lack of options that Disney Plus has. Now, while the empire of Disney is grand, the sad fact is that Disney is not everything, or maybe that's not so sad of a fact, but for the sake of Disney Plus, it is. At this moment, Disney Plus is limiting itself to only things owned by the Walt Disney Company, and Netflix and Hulu don't have that same restriction. Because of this, Disney Plus at this time feels more like a supplemental streaming service, something that you would add on to another company rather than just, use as its own solo streaming service. The second bad is the inevitable streaming wars, and this is bad for everyone. Remember when we got streaming services as a way to save money? Well, now we've cut the cable just to swap out for 5 or more streaming services. Unfortunately, in the end, these large companies still got to us. And while Disney Plus's price tag is, relatively cheap by comparison to others, though, as I said before, I expect it to go up, when you're adding that and Netflix and Hulu and HBO and, Amazon Prime, it starts to add up, and suddenly, why'd we cut cable in the first place? Convenience? Kinda? And now it is time to move on to the ugly. And with Disney, it's never very difficult. Now, don't get me wrong, the Walt Disney Company is my favorite corporate overlord. I mean, I spend money on their theme parks, the kids' movies they do, their superhero thriller movies, their Star Wars movies, and more. Hell, if Disney made their own money, I would probably trade mine in. But that's kind of the problem, isn't it? I mean, this one company already owns tons of markets, and now it's going to be a big player in the streaming service. It's tough. Basically, we're living in a world where Disney kind of can control everything, and if you don't believe me, check back on this video 10 years from now when President Iger is getting sworn in, and you'll look back at this video and you'll know I was right, and you'll weep. Now, before we get to the emoji, I like to do a couple more things here and there. Don't worry, we'll get there soon. I know that's what everyone's looking forward to. But to start, I like to talk about the ceiling and the basement. The ceiling being the absolute best that Disney Plus can be. The basement being where I view the absolute worst that it could be. High ceiling, low basement, I think, for this. So the ceiling, I would say, is probably Netflix. Which is what Disney Plus is definitely trying to do, is to try to topple the top of the streaming service food chain. And that's probably the highest that it can be, is Netflix. I mean, to be fair, that is the highest that anyone could be in terms of streaming services, but I don't imagine that it could ever overtake Netflix entirely. People are, I think, blowing Disney Plus a little out of proportion on that regard, but the basement, the lowest that Disney Plus could be, I view as HBO Now, or the HBO streaming service. And the reason that I say that is I don't think it could ever be bad, but the problem is that it could end up being limited and feel just not fully complete. If it does go as poorly as, you know, an HBO Now, it's not something that would be terrible, but I don't think the executives over at Disney would feel great about their launch if it stuck to that level. We now move on to the verdict. What should you do? What decision will I make for you? Well, in my opinion, get Disney Plus. I mean, you knew you were going to get Disney Plus. You probably didn't click this video if you weren't going to get Disney Plus. Get Disney Plus, but hold on to Netflix or Hulu or whatever other streaming service you use, because I don't believe that the stuff only at Disney is going to be enough for you. So I guess I'm telling you to shell out a little bit of extra cash. If you sign up for any of Disney's email services, you'll find that you can get deals on Disney Plus. Maybe get it for a little bit cheaper. But yeah, get Disney Plus, but, extra but, keep your Netflix. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the emoji. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that on the screen right now so you can see, the mouse. They'll find a way to get our money, but we will happily give it over to them. Thank you guys so much. If you are interested in this video, if you're interested in seeing more like it, comment below. Let us know. We're always looking for new ideas, or if you are interested in something, we'd like to keep bringing the stuff that you're interested in back to you. So also go ahead, click on the RAZZLE logo down there, view some more of our stuff. We do a podcast every week. We do all kinds of movie-related things, video games, TV, all kinds of stuff. And like I said, if you're interested in seeing something else, throw a comment down there below. We're definitely responding to as many as we see, and looking to talk to you, to meet up with you guys and really get an understanding of what you guys are interested in, because that's what we do it for. Thank you guys so much. Click the subscribe button, like the video, and I look forward to talking to you in the comments. Have a good one.